This is the Relationship Capital Podcast, where we talk to the top thought leaders and practitioners from around the world about how to grow your most valuable resource, your network. I'm your host, Adrian Chenault, and Relationship Capital is brought to you by your friends at Contact Mapping, the #1 app for building your network. Hey everybody, it's Adrian Chenault, and we are very blessed to be joined by Todd Falcone today, and we are going to have a conversation about how to use relationships effectively to build your business and network marketing. And honestly, I can't think of anybody who is the king of that topic more than you, Todd. So good to have you here, man. Thank you.
Great to be here, brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, my favorite subject.
Let's start from the top, and I want to
All right.
ask you kind of my big question first, and then we'll dig a little bit deeper. So,
All right.
Somebody who's brand new to the network marketing space wants to build relationships the right way that's going to create success in their business. What's the #1 tip you have for them?
I would say the #1 tip is like just maintaining the relationship, like watering your garden. If you want to have a flourishing garden, if you're going to plant a garden, it needs to be watered, fertilized, weeded, needs to be taken care of, and that's the way I look at relationships. So, first thing I would say, and here's the thing: I mean, you started today in network marketing.
Yep.
Maybe you haven't been so good at watering and fertilizing the relationships. Maybe it's time for you to start now, meaning staying in contact with people, reaching out when they least expect it, and not just calling when the next thing you want to pitch them something. Because a lot of people do that. Is the only time that they call somebody is when they want something, and if they do that, then they're never going to get it.
Yeah.
Nothing. They get nothing. So
That's totally right. It's like you get that you do this thing, and you should talk about this a little bit of like how are people going to respond when they see you calling them on the phone, right? I think that's so important, because it's like if the only time you call is when you need something, people are going to stop picking up the phone. They're going to stop responding to what you're talking about.
yeah, so you got 2 buttons on your phone. You got the red button and the green button.
Yep.
And so when they see your name, it's like, are you a red button person or are you a green button person? And you want to be a green button person. So they're excited to go, hey, what's up? Great to hear from you, rather than, no, I'm not taking that call. And there's people in my life in network marketing, because it's interesting. I won't mention his name, obviously, but there's one guy in particular that for years, and even as an independent trainer for the last 15 years, he's always calling me to pitch me. And now I see the phone ring, and I know he's calling me to pitch me a new deal.
Yep.
And because the only time he's ever called me, literally ever called me, is to pitch me a new deal. And so it worked the first couple times where I answered the phone. And now I'm like, oh, he's pitching me a new deal. So he's a red button, and we haven't talked in years as a result of it.
That's just crazy. And so somebody who, let's say you haven't been tending that garden, and you're trying to kind of get things going, and maybe you don't feel like you have a lot to give to your relationships. Like, what would you say to that person? What do they have to offer if they feel like they don't have much to offer?
Everybody's got something to give. A smile, a hello, how's it going? An ear.
Yep.
Listening to what's going on with you. How are you doing? How's the wife and kids? I haven't talked to you in ages. I mean, a quick example, and this is just, look, I talk about building relationships and staying connected with people, and I'm very good at it. I'm not saying that I've stayed in contact with 100% of the people that I've ever met on planet Earth, but it's something that's funny. This is hilarious. So my wife just very recently, like a couple weeks ago, she was on this board for this ball that we just attended, and she's at this ball, and she's like, Falcone, wait a minute. Do you know a Todd Falcone? And she's like, yeah.
A little bit.
She's like, well, I went to college with him. Wasn't he the guy who wore like tie-dye shirts? It's funny, I'm wearing like a tie-dye button down now. This is awesome. This is from like over 30 years ago. And she's like, tie-dye shirts and big hair. I would have big hair, but I don't really have much left. And she's like, really like, fun to be around. She's like, yeah, that's my husband. And it was so cool because we just attended this ball just really recently, and we had a chance to really get reconnected and re-engaged. And that was just somebody that, in this example, I didn't maintain contact with. We were friends, but we weren't like really close friends. And that's, some people come and go in your life, but everybody's got something to give. Yep. And the most important thing, like God gave us one mouth, 2 ears for a very specific reason, and that's to spend more time listening and uncovering and discovering. Because how many times you're talking to somebody and they cut you off mid-sentence?
Right.
In fact, I was dealing with I was on the beach in Hawaii with a pretty high-level network marketer, and she knew she had my ear. Like, oh, I got this guy on the beach. I'm going to start prodding him with questions. Asked me a question. I started answering. Cuts me off. Okay. She didn't want the answer to that question. So, a few minutes later, she's like, hey, can I ask you a question? I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Ask me the question. I start giving an answer. Cuts me off. I'm like, wait. Okay, fine. I didn't say anything. Finally, the third time, she goes, can I ask you another question? I'm like, yeah. And I'm already like, okay, I know what your game is. Asked me the question. I started answering. She cuts me off. I said, obviously you have no desire to hear the answers to any of the questions that you've given me. So you're done asking me questions, and I just went and hung out with the rest of the people because you just didn't have any interest. It's so rude. And my feelings about her, the fact that I'm even talking about her right now, would I be jumping and running to want to do business with her? No, I definitely would not. No.
And it's like we laugh at these things, but pay attention to yourself. You would be amazed at how people who are really effective communicators in other ways, they're constantly one-upping, constantly doing this stuff that you think you're relating, and you're like drowning out the other person. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
So one of the endless debates in the network marketing space is this sort of direct approach versus building a real relationship approach when you're meeting new people. What do you think about that?
Yeah, did you have to go there? We're gonna dig that one up.
We're gonna dig it up, man.
Okay, so that's so funny. I think it depends, right? So and there's a lot of people like for years I've been teaching in network marketing. One of the things from a cold market recruiting standpoint is this whole art of recruiting up the socioeconomic chain. It's a cold market approach. Pick up the phone, call a realtor, say, "Look, I'm calling you. I was just looking at your smiling website or your face on your website, expanding my business," and ask a very specific pique interest question. That's been taken and used and adopted onto social media, and so people are cold messaging people on social media, which I think could be fine. But the challenge is like if you do it, like in fact we just had a speaker talking about this the other day. You're going to get a lot of negative feedback. It's like the social media stage that we're on, that is kind of frowned upon. Like, oh, we're friends. Here's a quick pitch. Yep. There's a lot of people that get turned off by it. So there's a lot of rejection, a lot of no's, a lot of I'm unfriending you, a lot of disappearing. If I were to connect with you, for example, on social media, we didn't know each other. For me, like, I'm not going to come and necessarily pitch you something right away. What I would do is I'd start a conversation with you. Right. What's up? Great to connect on Facebook. Like every time I become a friend with somebody on Facebook, I'm sending them a personal message. Like, wait, we just became friends, then you're not going to talk to that person? To me, that's like, so if you friend request anybody, or vice versa, the moment you become friends, send them a private message, say, what's up? Great to connect with you. I'll look at your news feed. I'll stay engaged with you. By the way, Facebook goes like their algorithms. And I'm no algorithm expert, but if we've had a conversation via Messenger, they're like, oh, they must know each other, so we're going to show each other stuff. Yeah. It's more likely to happen.
Yeah.
But, I can get into a conversation with you. I can watch your news feed. And it's not like I want to take forever and butter you up. This is a very controversial question you asked me because there's one deal. It's like, just get to the point. Fine, you can get to the point. You can do that. It's your right to do that. I think it would be, if we're talking specifically about network marketing, you have to be very careful about the impression of the brand that you represent. Yep. Because, in fact, there's one company in particular, I won't mention them obviously, that they're essentially blackballed on Facebook. Like if you and I were besties, right. We've known each other forever, and I'm like, hey, Adrian, check this out. I want to show you what I'm doing. And I were to just send, and we're friends, legitimate friends. Yeah. I sent you something. Facebook, it pops up and it says, oh, this is violates our policies, and it literally will not send the link.
Wow.
That's how much they've abused it. So I'm a little concerned with people that are getting too aggressive with just cold message 25 people a day.
Yep.
But definitely not with a link. I mean, I could say, listen, hey, I've been watching you. I see that you're involved in real estate. You and I have connected a little bit. I know this question might be out of left field, but I'm expanding my business. I've already got a team that I'm working with in Dallas. And, do you keep your options open at all in terms of making money outside of what you're currently doing? I would have no problem in that approach, but I think there's no like black and white one way of doing it. So I don't know. It's like if I get a link and I've never had any engagement with you, I'm like, eh.
Yeah.
Some people might respond favorably to that, but I'm like, who's this dude? I'm done.
I think one of the things that you kind of touched on there is there's like an authenticity piece to this, right? Like direct can be authentic because it's like, look, I'm getting straight to the point of what I want to talk to you about. That's fine. If I'm buttering you up forever and I'm just waiting to pounce, that's that middle territory. That's where you really cause yourself heartache and trouble, and you piss people off because they feel used. And then you can actually look and be an authentic human being and try to build a relationship. So either of those can work. It's that middle ground that you're just people are gonna hate you for.
Yeah, the whole they can see you buttering them up, and they know that they're just a target. And also for me, I don't really connect with people unless I feel like I really want to connect with somebody.
Yeah.
So I won't just oh, you're okay. You have a bunch of friends. I'm being your friend. Does your vibe do I even really want to engage with you?
Yeah.
I think when I first started Facebook, it was like Facebook friend. That was, 14 years ago or whenever it started. But, you quickly learn, you're like, I want to be connected with people that I really want to be connected with.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Cool. Well, that's super helpful. And I think you have a great mindset and approach when it comes to that kind of topic, which I think is something that a lot of us struggle with as network marketers, is like trying to figure out what's the right approach to take there. So last question for you, just anything that you want to share in terms of how you want to help somebody who's trying to grow in their network marketing relationship to do it the right way.
Yeah, and you guys know I talk about this all the time. I think this is a relationship business. People buy from those that they feel good about, that they know, that they like, that they trust. None of us would love to go run in and give money to a company that's been disrespectful or not nice to us or doesn't deliver upon what they promise. So to me, in fact, we've had this conversation off camera before. Like the reason I've had success year in and year out is because I build relationship capital. I stay connected with people, reaching out to people, and my brain's not perfect, so I keep records, and you guys have got an app for that, which is amazing, that allows people to, stay connected to people. And like, if I found out like your greatest passion is, glazed donuts, I know you're.
How did you know?
I can't even remember. Like, I don't know where that came from. With glazed donut, my mouth just watered a little bit, but I like maple bars, actually. So if I found out that you were like the greatest glazed donut fan, and you live for glazed donuts, and I surprised you one day with hey, Adrian, figured I'd drop this off, or I hope you're having a great day. I know you love donuts, and I happen to be driving by the donut shop, and it was totally unexpected. You're gonna be like, what the heck, man? This guy's cool. That just increased the relationship, and it cost me, whatever, a dozen donuts or a couple donuts it pales in comparison to how you're going to now feel about me, and the feelings about me are going to either cause you to want to do business with me, and even if we don't do business together, you're going to be like, oh, you need to go do business with Falcone. That guy is awesome. Even if we never did business together, you'll refer me business.
I'll want to support you even if it's not a fit for me to do business.
Because you'll look at me as a guy, it's like he's made an effort in the relationship.
Yep.
Like it comes down to this. It's giving more than taking.
Yep.
So the more you give, the more you're going to receive.
If you give big, you're going to receive big.
It just keeps coming to. It's absolute fact. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to do that. It's good to have you.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Thank
Thanks.
you.